Hey everyone, I'm John Stang. I'm a student here at Roanoke College in Salem, Virginia, and I am working on a project about Volga-German immigration in the Midwest this summer, specifically looking at Kansas. I also run a blog called The Challenges to Volga-German Historical Memory, and I have decided to kind of go ahead and blog about various aspects of this project and talk a little bit about what I find. In this type, what I've decided to do is take some questions from people online, on Facebook and on my blog, and then answer just a couple of those questions here. I thought this was kind of a cool interactive tool, the blog, and I hope that maybe I might be able to get some more questions next time. So two questions that I decided to pick that I thought were very interesting. The first one talks a little bit about, if I can find it here. Oh, the first question is, where is the highest concentrated people group now located? Referring to the Volga Germans, I'm assuming in present day. And the answer is that that's a really tough question to answer. I would say that, as you get second and third generations, this group is going to start to disperse. A lot of them are going to find upward mobility and not farm anymore. And so they're going to move to various places across the United States. If you want kind of an area of where this cultural group is, I would say the best answer, and I'll link to it just underneath this video, is on the Center for Volga-German Studies, which is out of Portland, or out of Concordia University in Oregon. And they have a really nice map that kind of lists where the highest concentrated people, Volga-Germans, were when they settled. It looks like, according to this map, and I think this is a really good map, is primarily you have two major settlements in Kansas. You have in Ellis County, of course, which is the area that I'm looking at, where Catherine, Victoria, Munger, various colonies are, Topeka. You also get a nice settlement in Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a nice museum there that has various Volga-German artifacts in it. Also up in Oregon, of course, around the Portland area, just outside the Portland area, in Fresno, California. It looks like also in Alberta, Canada, there's a small group that was there. Just outside Chicago is also another place. My guess is these people kind of went to where there was fertile farmland, where the land was cheap, and so they were able to go there and kind of quickly settle, and also kind of be somewhat near, not a big city, because remember, you have to go and get supplies for your farm. So they needed somewhere that was located, and also near a water source, I would say, to be able to irrigate their crops. So those are probably the two places you're going to find big farming communities, and where a lot of the people that are really part of this group still are, if they're kind of still around there today. So that's a good question. I'll link this map below, and then you can kind of look for yourself. The other question coming from that we were kind of talking about today. The other major question was, what are the towns Victoria and Catherine named after? Who who are the people, how they find these towns exactly? What was the people they named them after? And I guess the best answer to that question would be this: they named Catharinstadt, Russia, or Catherine, is named after Catherine the Great, because this was the woman who provided the land to them when they were in Russia in 1764 for them to farm, and so it was natural they would name it after her. So Catharinstadt was a rather large settlement in Russia, and then when they came over to the United States, originally it was called Catharinstadt, but then they changed it to Catherine, and it was spelled actually C-A-T-H-A-R-I-N-E, not C-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-E, because Catherine the Great is spelled with an A and not an E. And eventually they had to change it a little bit. I think it was in the 1980s. They had to change it because, mainly for postal reasons. I mean, it was very confusing, so they decided to just change it to C-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-E. Victoria has a very interesting origin to its name, in that it actually had kind of two names. The first was Victoria, and the reason it was called that was you had a lot of, before the Volga Germans arrived, around 1873, you had a whole group of English settlers that were going to kind of create a ranching farm community. But it turned out a lot of them were more interested in wanting to go out and hunt and for sport than really farming. They were English gentlemen. They weren't really interested in wanting to grow any type of crops. And they named the town after Queen Victoria the First, since they were English and Scottish. And eventually they left around 1880. Just outside of Victoria, not too far though, eventually the towns kind of merged. There was the Volga-German settlement called Herzog, which is spelled Herzog, and eventually they kind of merged the two, and it just became Victoria. So those are the origins of the names of Victoria and Catherine and Herzog and all the other names. So those were two really good questions. I want to thank both the people who asked those, and hopefully next time we'll get some more interesting questions. Thanks.